So here's my audience. Sorry. Okay. We're doing something. Hands up, don't shoot. This was a national slogan that was brought on by the fatal shooting of Michael Brown as the police officer Darren Wilson shot and killed the unarmed 18-year-old whose name was Michael Brown. And this shooting happened in Ferguson, Missouri, and it caused so much controversy, confusion, and terror in the community of St. Louis, and it even brought it on to a national level. Highways were blocked off, police officers were scared, everyone was scared. We weren't really sure what was going on, what was happening. We just knew something big was on the horizon. So on December 3rd in 2014, the Congressional Daily Record stated that President Barack Obama was going to try to implement more money into our police stations and buying police body-worn cameras, because the shooting of Michael Brown, there was no evidence. It was just police officer Darren Wilson and then Michael Brown. I'm not here to get into the statistics about that, into my side on that. That is unimportant for this argument. I'm here to tell you more about police body-worn cameras and how my opinion has changed throughout the years. So in 2014, I did a research paper about police body-worn cameras right after this happened. And I thought it was one of the best things that could have happened. Though it was an extreme expense for each station, I thought, hey, it gives an invite to the truth. We could see something that happened. This is such a new, revolutionary idea. However, as I dove back into this research this year, I have found studies that really disappointed me. They do not have as strong of data, and it really makes me think that the cost outweighs the real impact that body cameras make. And I believe that the money that cities are willing to put towards body-worn cameras should go to anti-violence campaigns or creating a better public school system to start from the problem at hand and raise people up with the idea that violence is not okay at all and there are better ways to solve our issues. And I can stand by this as I am from St. Louis. I was living through all the riots, not being able to go places certain nights. I have also done a research paper, as I have said, and my dad is a retired police lieutenant. He was active at the time. In 2014, he had just recently retired within the past year. And though he is a police lieutenant, I've grown up hearing that people aren't perfect, whether they're in uniform or not. So police officers make mistakes just like everyone else. I'm not here saying that anyone in uniform is perfect. I'm just gonna make that clear. I've just been able to see the other side of things. So, what are police body cameras? Well, Electronic Frontier Foundation said it best, as they explained it as a camera that is attached to a police officer's uniform, whether most of the time it's on the front chest, or sometimes departments can afford the glasses camera. And it records a scenario once a police officer turns it on, records the scene that they're at, and it records the location and timestamps all of the footage. However, these also have a great cost. Police body cameras cost from $400 to $1,000 per camera, and then each month it costs $100 per camera to store it. Now on top of all that cost, you have to hire a police officer to stand by that footage each hour to make sure that it's safe, it's secure, everything is working and nothing's getting destroyed, as this is valuable evidence. So not only are you paying for the actual cameras and storage, you're paying for another police officer or two to stand by and work with just this footage. Altogether, I believe that this is a crazy amount of cost, but back in 2014, I thought it was worth the investment because of the society that was around. However, based off of the evidence I found in studies, I don't believe that anymore. So the lab at DC and the Washington, DC Police Department put on a study that lasted for over 2 years. And it's been the biggest police body-worn camera study, and there was around 2,500 police officers in on this study, and about 1,200 were assigned to wear body-worn cameras. And the numbers that came back are not very impressive. There was 74 more uses of force, 127 less arrests, less than 16 not found guilty, and 2,422 prosecutions. Now, all these numbers are based off of 1,000 police officers wearing body cameras. And to me, there's only a few numbers that are in the hundreds and thousands. And even the lab at DC said themselves, police body-worn cameras had no detectable meaningful effect on documented uses of force. So is it really worth the money? In conclusion, police body-worn cameras, though in 2014 I thought were such a great idea, based off of the data I've found, what I've heard, it seems to be that we should just go for the main problem, which is violence. We should try to prevent violence in school systems and anti-violent movements instead of putting millions of dollars into these cameras, which they have an 8-second buffering where you aren't even sure that you'll get all of the footage, as it doesn't start to record right away. And that's valuable, and you're still spending millions in it when we could just be trying to make our school systems and our communities less violent instead. So when it comes down to it, would you prefer to pay millions to have the same society and just try to figure out the truth behind it, or put millions towards ending violence altogether? Thank you.